Have you ever seen the game Monster Hunter? It looks good, doesn't it? Well, if you have a PS4 or Xbox One, then I'd definitely recommend picking it up. It's a lot of fun. However, what about the PC community? Well, Monster Hunter Worlds is planned for release later this year, but don't worry. What if I told you there was an alternative currently in open beta, and best of all, it's free? Sound interesting? Good. Well, without further ado, let me welcome you to the world of Dauntless. In a realm of shattered lands, Dauntless will take you on a hunt against spectacular creatures across various planes, shapes and sizes. The idea behind this game is to hunt creatures for materials, and then get money and build new equipment. I don't think there's any end goal currently, or at least I haven't seen one. You start off with just a basic sword, however after slaying your first beast you are given the choice of 3 weapons to craft. Well, when I say you can craft one of the 3, you can pretty much craft them all and then just choose which one you prefer. There's a great sword, a hammer and chain blades. However, you do get more choices later on when you upgrade your weaponsmith leveled with a war pike and an axe. I'm assuming more weapons will come out later on. But to give you a brief rundown of each starter weapon, the sword is basically your medium speed and medium attack weapon, dealing a nice blow of each swing, and you can also use its special ability to allow some devastating swings while also temporarily increasing your swing speed. The hammer is your slow, heavy weapon which you can use to stumble monsters, and it also has a shotgun attachment which can either be used to shoot things or push yourself through the map, which is actually pretty cool. And finally you have my favourite weapon currently, which is the chain blades. These are light attacks and fast action, with a choice of being up close and personal or using your heavy attack to swing from a distance. This is probably better when you have shit armor and, you know, you're like me and you're crap. But do keep in mind, however, with the chain blades, try and keep your special ability bar full at all times, because you can use one of those and then blow up the monster when you run at it. The whole point of its ability is meant to get you to and from the beast, but if you just use it constantly for that, you just keep doing damage and it works better. Thankfully, this all works hand in hand with the combat system in place. Imagine a mix of Fable and Dark Souls, in the sense that the combat mechanics are pretty basic, but dodging is quite key to keep yourself alive. Pretty much like in Dark Souls, just not as painful if you cock it up. I feel that down the line, the developers will aim to add new combos and little tweaks to the fighting style. However, for now it's fun and responsive, which is quite important in these type of games, so don't be too picky if there's not a lot to go with. When it comes to stuff in early access, I'd rather have a game where I can actually play the game properly and, you know, not have really unresponsive and janky controls to ruin the experience. So yeah, it might change down the line, but if it's the same as it is now, it's not too much of a problem to me. One of the things as well, which I haven't mentioned it, is not only hunting when you go into these planes, you do have a bit of time to scavenge for equipment, because you can't find the monster immediately, you have to go out and hunt for it. Hence why it's like a Monster Hunter game. A benefit is though, with these maps being small, it's not too hard to find the creature, but if you're like me and you're not paying attention, your friend can throw up a flare and that will basically give you an indicator of where to go. Once you finish the hunt though and killed the beast and took the parts you want, you pretty much head back to the hub world. And could I just say overall that this art style is absolutely stunning. The town looks brilliant and it brings a nice sense of depth when exploring the town to make new loot and handling quests a little bit more satisfying to the eye. The same goes for the hunting plains as well. So far I've seen a basic forest, a snow biome and a desert. And while these layouts for the areas are simple and it does make hunting fairly easy, the fact that biomes change with each monster and it's also fairly quick to run through, it doesn't ruin the experience too quickly. While in Monster Hunter you are in one massive area, it can get a bit samey after a while. With Dauntless, because of how quick the game goes, I'm still getting lost in like starter areas when I go back to it. It's that kind of system and it does work in its favour. Finally, when it comes to praise of art styles and designs, I have to give massive credit to whoever designed the monsters. They look absolutely amazing. They're basic in certain aspects, but it just looks really nice and pleasing to see. I genuinely like these kind of art styles in games, and I may have said this before on my first Quickplay and I'll say it again. It reminds me of Wind Waker, and Wind Waker was one of my favourite art styles. I think for Dauntless being a simple game, this definitely works in its favour, and it's not too basic, because when you're fighting behemoths or monsters or whatever you want to call them, you can take off part of their bodies. And there is benefits behind this. So let's say for example the tail. The tail is probably one of the most common attacks they do, but you can cut that bugger off, and yeah, they scream and it sounds genuinely horrible because they sound like real creatures, which is something I was surprised to hear. But when you do take these parts off, it does actually change how the game goes. So the monster might try to run a bit quicker, or it might get a bit more enraged, or it might just not be able to do a certain attack again. Which, again, for the tail, that is a fucking blessing, because some of those beasts are the worst when it comes to their tail hit. Or, you know, when they go to swing with their head, but you don't realise that the tail can still hit you, so when you're behind it trying to sneak up, it whacks you in the face. That's killed me so many times. It's unbelievable. Overall, Dauntless has the potential to be something really good, but with Monster Hunter coming out later this year, it does have a fairly big competition probably more than it can handle. And when I was playing this with my friends, we did agree on the fact that this was just getting us more excited for Monster Hunter Worlds to come out on PC. But I think the whole idea of it being a free-to-play, and it's not really pay-to-win because the microtransactions are just skins and like color dyes, I think Dauntless could stand on its own, and hopefully it does, because I wouldn't mind coming back to this game in the future. And if you want to know how much I'm actually enjoying this game, I have played it non-stop. I've now got the Warpike and the axe, and I haven't really tried the Warpike to give it any feedback, but I've recorded way too much footage for a quick play. I would normally need like 2 hours footage. I think I've got like 8. So yeah, that's pretty much it for now. If you want to try Dauntless yourself, I'll leave a link below. Just remember though, when you sign up to Dauntless, there's a bit for a referral. Just put a cracker bulb in there. Don't ask why. Honestly, the only reason I did this as a quick play is because I saw that referral and I thought I could just use you lot to, you know, get free stuff. Basically, I'm just a sucker for free shit.